to Mage Night on the Dragon Table. This is part 3. During the first part of the episode, I went over storage of the game and setup. And then for the second part of the video, I went through the first couple of turns that you would take if you were playing a 2-player cooperative full conquest game. Now, as it turns out, I already made a few mistakes, which is shocking because I figured by this point I would have made at least 18 mistakes. So the 3 mistakes that stand out that I'll point out now, if you'll remember during the last video, I rolled the mana dice at the beginning of the game to establish the source for mana. And half of the die were black or gold. And I said if half of the die were black or gold, you have to re-roll the dice. That's not true. If it's more than half the dice are black or gold, then you would re-roll just the black or gold dice. Sorry, messed that one up. The other thing I messed up is that these 2 countryside tiles should have been visible at the beginning of the game, before we chose tactics or any of that, so you could do some planning before you actually exit the portal. My bad. And the final mistake I made is that I did not randomly choose a tactic card for the dummy player before I chose the tactic cards for the Mage Knight characters. So, all in all, nothing earth-shattering, just some minor changes to what I did in the previous video. So now we're going to move on and just proceed as if none of that actually happened, and I just did it all correctly to start with. And I believe that if we do that, that it is now Arithia's turn. So what I'm probably going to do is show 1 or 2 more turns, and then I'm going to do a super fast forward to catch up with maybe some more interesting things farther along in the game. Because remember, the point of this game is to discover the cities and to conquer them. And that happens in the 5th and 6th rounds generally. It's generally, maybe the 4th round you might discover the first city, but it's generally not until the 5th round and the 6th round that you're finally discovering the cities and conquering them. And in the meantime, what you're doing is trying to build your deck so that you are powerful enough to conquer said cities, because they are not easy to conquer. So we're going to continue moving along in that fashion, and I'm going to figure out what to do with Arithia this turn. Okay, so Arithia has the Battle Versatility card without the green on it. She has Threaten. She's got 2 Swiftness cards, which are either move or they're ranged attack if you have crystals to play on them, if you've got mana. And she's also got the Improvisation card. I was trying to figure out if she had enough to attack this orc and defeat it. And she does. The reason she does is because she can use a mana to make this a fire attack, which would ignore the physical attack. The problem is, she does that, she does not have enough block to prevent his attack from going through, which means that she would take 8 damage because he is brutal. So, therefore, that is not what we're going to be doing this turn. I am not going to be attacking him, so I'm going to take my Battle Versatility card back. I'm going to take the Improvisation card back for now, and this one, Swiftness card. And what I'm going to do with Arithia is I'm going to go ahead and just have her move 2, and she's going to move to this village right here. That costs 2 to move. And then she's going to take a mana from the source. They're all gold right now, so that's a wild card, basically. And she's going to make this an influence of 5. And with an influence of 5, she can recruit the Foresters. The Foresters have a move of 2 if you use them, or they have a block of 3 if you use them. They also have an armor of 4, so they can help absorb some damage if need be. So they're going to go next to Arithia's deed deck underneath this token that's sitting up in front, or that's sitting next to the deed deck. This indicates how many units she can have at her disposal at any time. Right now she's just a level 1, so she can only have 1 unit. when she uses this unit, she'll then put this token on top of the card to show that she's used it for that round. And that unit will not be able to be used again during that round. At the end of the round, this will reset up to the top and he'll become active again. So I'm going to put the Foresters down next to her deed deck. So she's going to end her turn. This die will get rolled, put back in the source, and these 2 cards will get discarded. She'll then draw back up to 5 and end her turn. And she's now in a better position to maybe go after that orc if she wants to, or maybe see what happens over here. Now notice I've taken a unit out of the unit offer. This is not going to get refreshed until the end of the round. So it's 1 less unit on offer for the rest of this daytime round. So Tovak is actually sitting on a village right now. Let me look and figure out what Tovak is going to do this turn. So Tovak has Promise, which is an influence. He has Rage for attacking or blocking. He also has a Swiftness card. He's got another Heal card, and he has Concentration. And since he is already on a village, it would behoove him to pick up a unit to help him along before he goes on to do something like tackle that keep that we still don't know what's guarding it. So in order to recruit a unit, he's not going to recruit the Herbalist. They're not particularly strong. The Foresters are a better unit. So what he's going to do is going to take a gold mana to make this an Influence 4 card. And then he's going to take his Tranquility card, which is a heal, and turn it sideways for 1 influence. So that will give him a total of 5, and he can recruit the Foresters, which is exactly what Arya did on her turn. Then this will get rolled and put back in the source because if he was going to move, he would have had to have done it before taking the action. And by taking the action, he ended his movement. So he stays on the village for this turn. These 2 get discarded, and he draws back up to 5. And now I'm going to flip over cards for the dummy player. I know this is not on screen, so I'm just going to flip him over. I flip over 3. And the third one is a green one, which means we get to flip over 2 additional cards because he has 2 green crystals sitting on him right now. So he is going through his deck faster than the players are at this point. So it's going to make sense now for the players to pick up their pace a little bit and to go ahead and use more cards each turn, because otherwise they're going to end up getting stuck. And Goldix will run out of his deck before they do. But now we're back to it being Arya's turn again. Okay, so Arya has Tranquility, Swiftness, Improvisation still, Battle Versatility still, and she has Determination in her hand. She also has the Foresters, which I'm going to just point out here, that she can use once per round. And they have a block of 3. She does not have any crystals in her inventory, but she can still pull from the mana source, 1 die per turn. She has enough to defeat that orc that's sitting in the forest. She can't do it with ranged attack, but she will be able to do it, and she's going to also be able to block the damage that would otherwise be brutal. Because block is an all or none thing. If this guy has a attack of 4, she has to block all 4, or else all of it's going through. If she blocks only 3 of it, all of it's going through. And because of this symbol on this little guy, it means he's brutal. So he would take, instead of taking just 4 damage, she would take 8 damage, no matter how much of it she blocked, unless she blocks all of it. But I know what to do. So she is going to use her Swiftness card to move to, she's going to turn her Tranquility card sideways to give her a move of 3. That will put her in this magical glade. Now, normally she would have a chance to have a ranged attack. She doesn't have enough ranged, or siege to take him down. So now he gets the chance to attack her back. And he gets to attack with 4, and she needs to block 4. So what she's going to do is play Determination, which gives her a block of 2, plus she's going to use her unit, the Foresters, which have a block of 3. So she'll put her token on it to show that she used them. That gives her a combined block of 5, which is enough to keep the damage from going through on him. I'm going to put these back because they're technically not a card from her hand. But she's now used them this round. So now she has to attack 6 physical, because he's got physical resistance, or 3 fire, or 3 ice, or 3 cold fire. 3 physical would not be enough. Fortunately, her battle versatility card at the top is not enough, but at the bottom, one of the abilities is a fire attack of 3. So she's going to use one of the red dice to activate this card. With a fire attack of 3, he's got physical resistance, so he doesn't have any resistance to the fire attack, just his regular armor of 3, and that is enough to kill him. So she is going to take him, and she will get 4 fame. Yay for killing him. And he's just going to get put off to the side. And she's going to move up on the fame track. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at the end of her turn, she's going to level up. So there's one card that she didn't use. She still hasn't used her improvisation card. All these other cards got used, so now we're going to clean up. Oh, black die. So one more die we can't use. And then all 4 of these cards we're going to get discarded. She'll draw back up to 5 cards. And now she gets to level up. And I'm going to zoom in on the choices that she has in her advanced action cards to show you what she can do when she levels up this time. Ooh, different angle. Yay. Okay, so Arya has just killed an orc of level 4. I forgot from the last turn, she used a threaten card, and she used the higher, the power of this card, which means she should have gone down 1 on the reputation track. And then she killed an orc, which the villagers like. So she goes back up 1 on the reputation track. So she's back to 0 on the reputation track. She killed that orc, so she gets 4 fame, which moves her up to here. So she gets to level up. And on this level, she gets to choose an advanced action card from the offer, which is right here. And she's going to get to choose a skill. So let's look at the advanced action cards that are on offer. First one is Intimidate, which is an influence card, but it can also be used as an attack. No matter which part of the card you use, you're always going to get a minus reputation on if you use Intimidate. For training, you throw away any action card from your hand, and then you can take a card of the same color from the advanced actions offer. So it's a way to upgrade the cards in your deck. The advanced power on this card, if you've got the green mana to use it, lets you put that action card directly into your hand instead of into your discard pile. And then the other choice is Regeneration, which lets you heal, or it lets you ready a unit that you control. In other words, if you've already used a unit this turn and you want, or this round, and you want to use that unit again, you could use this card to ready that unit and use it again that round. So there's some handy choices. I think because we're thinking about deck building for the sake of being able to conquer cities, she's going to choose Training as her card. So this is going to go into her discard pile, so that'll show up next round. And then what happens is this gets refreshed. These get, whatever is higher gets slid down, and then this gets replaced. Oh, magic talent. That's a nice one. So now she also gets to choose a skill. So I'm going to pull the top two. I randomized, these are the skill chits. I randomized them before the game started. So I'm just pulling the top two. So these are the two that she has to choose from. And if I'm not sure what they are, I can always refer to this. This top one is Dark Fire Magic. Once per round, it's important to know if it's once per round or once per turn. But this is once per round. You flip this and you can gain 1 red crystal to your inventory and 1 red or black mana token. So the crystal would go in your inventory and the token would be able to be used that turn. The other option is Motivation. Once per round, you flip this to draw 2 cards. And if you have the least amount of fame, you also gain a red mana token. And you cannot use another motivation skill until the end of your next turn. So I think that these two are not my favorite. She has some really good skills. These are two of not my favorite skills that she has. So I'm going to take Dark Fire Magic, which means once per round, I'll be able to flip this to get a red crystal in my inventory and a red or black mana token that would be available for me to use that turn. And that is going to go face up for now, right next to her deed deck. Now, this one that I didn't choose is now going to go into the common pile. So the next time a character levels up that's not Arithia, which in this case is just Tovak, he would be able to choose this one as possibility for the skill that he chooses for leveling up. Arithia will not have a chance to go back and choose this again. So I'm just going to set this aside into a common pile. And now she's done leveling up, and it's now Tovak's turn again. Okay, let's see what Tovak can do this turn. Okay. So what Tovak is going to do, he's going to use the Foresters to move. They have a move 2, but they also have a special ability. If they move in forests, hills, and swamps, it's reduced by 1 to a minimum of 0 this turn. So normally it would cost Tovak 3 to move into these forests, but if he uses the Foresters, he can move into the forest for a cost of 2. So that's what he's going to do. So he's using those guys for that purpose. And now it's daytime and he's adjacent to the keep, so he gets to flip the keep over and see what's guarding it. Okay, so anything in a keep is fortified, which means that they are, you cannot use a ranged attack on them. You must use a siege attack if you're going to use any kind of range. Ranged attacks won't work, only siege. These guys have 5 armor and they have physical resistance. So they actually have 10 armor. Yay! Unless you have a fire or ice attack. They only have an attack of 2 and they don't have any special ability. So you'd only get hit with 2. That's not too bad. And a fame of 4. Keeps are nice. If you defeat the creature that's guarding the keep, anytime you are on the keep or adjacent to it, your hand limit is 1 higher, so you get to draw an extra card, which is always handy. And there are also certain units that you can recruit when you're on a keep. So let's see if he would have enough. I don't think that he has enough to kill the guy in the keep, because he would have to come up with 10 attack, since he doesn't have any. He has cold toughness, which gives him an ice attack of 2. That would handle part of it, and that would leave, if he used an ice attack of 2, we still have to deal with the block. Hang on a second. Okay, so here's Tovak's deal. He's 1 card away from being able to take care of this keep thing without taking any damage, but I ran out of cards. So he's going to use his swiftness card to move 2. The keep is located on a hill. In order to attack it, he has to move in and attack it. He used the foresters this turn, and the move cost of forest, hills, and swamps is reduced by 1 this turn because he used the foresters. So it only costs him 2 to move into this keep. So that's what that move 2 is. Now, he would have to block 2, which he just simply can't do. I'll show you the cards that he has, and you'll see why he just doesn't have enough. And it's because this guy has physical resistance. If this guy does not have physical resistance, he would have been able to do it. But without physical resistance, that hurts. So basically, he's not going to use his mana draw card this turn. Okay, so Tovak assaults the keep. He does not have enough siege to take down this defender. And he doesn't have enough block. I mean, he does, but he needs to use all of his cards for attack. So he's not going to have enough block to deal with the 2 attack. So that means he's going to take 1 wound. Then he has, on his level card, he has 2 armor. So 2 minus 2 is 0. So we've taken care of all of the assigning of damage for this turn. So he takes a wound card into his hand. That's the important thing to note. It doesn't go to your discard pile, it goes to your hand. So we've dealt with him taking the damage. And now he's going to have to provide enough attack to take out this guy who has 5 armor with physical resistance. For the first thing he's going to do is he's going to play Cold Toughness, which gives him an ice block, or I'm sorry, an ice attack of 2. So that will take this down to 3, meaning it's actually 6 because it's doubled. So he's going to have to come up with an attack of 6, and he's going to do that by playing the concentration card with it powered up using this gold mana. He's going to play concentration on rage, which means it'll give him the more powerful benefit of the card plus 2. That is an attack of 6, which is exactly enough to conquer this guy. So he's going to go down -1 on the reputation track because he attacked a fortified structure, and the villagers don't like that. But he gets 4 fame. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fame for killing this thing. So I'm going to put this off to the side. And he gets to put 1 of his tokens on this keep to show that it's his. And now he will have a hand limit that's 1 higher if he is next to or on top of his own keep. So thus ends his turn. This die gets re-rolled. Oh, sorry, Arya. And it's black die. Uh-oh. These cards get discarded. And he gets to draw up to 6 now because he is on his keep. And he also gets to level up now this turn because he's on the same spot as Arya is. And instead of moving the camera, I'm going to show you the cards that are in the offer. You'll recognize 2 of them. These 2 were in the offer previously, but he's probably going to be taking the Magic Talent card. Magic Talent's really nice. You discard a card from your hand. You play this card, discard a card, and then you can play a spell card from the spell offer as if it was in your hand. This is a pretty powerful card. In the powered up version of this card, if you play a blue mana, you actually get to take a spell card from the spell offer and put it in your discard pile. So he's going to take Magic Talent, put it in his discard pile. And then these 2 will go back, and I will replenish the offer, and Refreshing Walk is now in there. In addition to choosing an advanced action card, Tovak also gets to choose a skill in the same way that Arya did. So I'm taking the top 2 random chits from his pile. That's what he has to choose from for his skills. This one is similar to Arya's. This is motivation. Once per round, you flip this to draw 2 cards, and if you have the least fame, you also get a blue mana, so very similar to Arithia's motivation. This other ability is I Feel No Pain, and it is once per turn, except in combat, you discard a wound from your hand, and if you do, you draw a card. Oh, I am so taking this one. This is a good ability, especially since I currently have 1 wound in my hand. So I'm going to be able to use this right away next turn. So I'm going to put this over by his little stack. And just like Arithia's ability that didn't get chosen, this gets put in the common pile. So Arithia could choose this one, the next time she has a chance to level up her skills, if she doesn't like the 2 that get turned up from her own pile. So this gets put in the common pile, and Tovak cannot go back and pick this one up. So you've seen the basics of how this game works. For the next video, I think we're going to be jumping ahead and going a little bit deeper into the game, showing you some more details of what comes up on the map. But this gives you a good basic idea of how combat works, of what the benefits are of taking over a site, what the negative effects are. So thanks for visiting the Dragon Table. I'll see you next time.